Away from the dramatic and well-trodden Lake District fells and waters, the south of the county gives way to the Duddon and Leven estuaries, and also the Furness Peninsula. At the foot of the Duddon Valley lies the ancient village of Broughton-in-Furness, which is the location of the only traditional heavy horse riding establishment in the country. And as Tony and Helen are keen to keep horses for their daughter Amelia, we arranged for them to meet Annie Rose, who owns Clydesdale heavy horses, to find out more about this rare equestrian breed.
Well, historically, this whole area is Clydesdale country. Agriculturally, this was where Clydesdales were commonly used because we're so close to the Scottish borders. So most of Cumbria was farmed using Clydesdales. These beautiful big horses were used purely in agriculture, but also the farmer would have used them in the cart to take the produce to the market, or maybe ridden to church on a Sunday. Once World War II came and went, though, there was a real shift in these horses' fortune. Thousands of them perished. And with World War II came the advent of the tractor and mechanisation, and literally hundreds of these beautiful horses went to slaughter. The farmers didn't have a use for them anymore. Going back even to the 60s, many farmers kept a couple of Clydes just because they'd always had them on the ground. And it was those farmers that kept the breed going, really. I like to think that what we do is we give people the opportunity to try a ridden Clydesdale, and many folk then go off and actually will buy one to ride. So there's a lot of people in the UK riding with these big horses. And really great. It's good news for the breed.
So for a total novice like myself, will we be okay out there?
Of course you will!
Most of the horses here at the stables are Scottish Clydesdales. This breed originated in the valley of the River Clyde, which of course gave them their name. Tony and Helen are going to see just what it's like to take a ride on one of these gentle giants. Indeed, the tallest horse here is 18 hands high, which means on its back you're sitting 6 foot off the ground.
How are you feeling?
Okay.
Helen, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I'm great. Yeah.
Between the post-war years of 1946 and 1949, the number of Clydesdale breeding stallions in England dropped from more than 200 to just 80. By 1975, the Rare Breed Survival Trust considered them vulnerable to extinction, meaning that there were fewer than 900 breeding females in the UK. And today, they are still at risk, with just an estimated 5,000 Clydesdales worldwide, around 800 of which are in the UK.
We've just ridden from Chapel's Farm along here, and behind us there's the boundary of the Lake District National Park. So we're sitting here on the very edge, the southernmost tip of the Lake District National Park. Over to our left here, this really large hill here, this is Black Combe. It shadows the Witcham Valley and it's an absolutely beautiful fell. The top of that is just shy of 2,000 feet. Now that makes it the biggest hill in England. From the top of that on a day like today, which is so beautiful, you can actually see England, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland and the Isle of Man. It's a beautiful vantage point.
As well as introducing tourists to the joys of the county's landscape from the back of one of her 22 horses, Annie also employs 10 local people, making the stables a real community affair. And it looks as if the heavy horses have gained 2 more admirers in our buyers.
It was an absolute pleasure to ride with you today.
Many thanks. Many thanks for all your help.
Tony, thank you.
Take care now.
See you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Time to trot along to see our next property. For our second house, we've travelled to the outskirts of Windermere, which is situated around half a mile away from the lake. Windermere has all the usual amenities of a lively town and attracts millions of tourists a year for boating and walking. Here you'll find a post office, plenty of shops and a variety of places to eat. House number 2 was built in the 1960s and inspired by the cottages typical to the region. But will it be traditional enough for Tony and Helen? Was that a nod of approval or was that
That's different.
Different, yes. Not your usual country cottage.
No, it's a modern take on it.
Okay.
A modern take on a traditional Lakeland property. So what do you think?
First impressions, it's a good-looking house.
Right, well, let's get you in there.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. They're sounding a little reticent to me at the moment, but I think once they get inside and see the size of it, Tony and Helen might just warm up to this property. We're starting off our tour by going through the bright hall space and into the living room. So,
This is a nice large room.
This is a nice room, yeah.
Like it?
Lovely. Yeah.
It is. This is a very nice room, actually. Yeah,
lots of
bright
unusual shapes in this room, I like.
Yeah.
And what about the totally modern feel to the house?
We could tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a modern house now, so our furnishings would go quite easily, so
They would.
yeah, it's quite surprising actually how large it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're happy?
From outside, it
yeah,
didn't look
it
quite
looks-
as big as this.
You've got the dining room down there that was put in as an extension 20 years ago.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
It's what you see with a little added on bit to the left. Let me show you.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, this is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
little sunroom.
Yeah,
Yes.
little reading sunroom, whatever you wanted to call it. Lovely. That, having your dinner here looking out into your garden as well is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I'm glad they're actually appreciating the space that's been created in here. Time to head for the kitchen, which has been recently extended.
Ah.
Wow. Now this is big.
It is. It's quite an
This is
unusual
huge.
shape, isn't it?
Yeah, I like this kitchen.
You've got a
Fantastic.
table there at the end of the L shape. Also the French doors opening out to a little decking area and so much storage space.
Excellent. Yeah,
So you're happy? This seems to have changed your outlook completely because you've been walking into rooms thinking a lot.
I know, yeah.
You were a bit quiet, but now you're back with us.
I know, I mean, it's come back down to reality, yeah.
But this is a different living space altogether.
It
isn't
is.
It changes the house a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay. Hey, good.
Easy.
You like then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we should go and
This is a
see
nice
the
room.
master bedroom.
Okay.
Yes.
It's roughly about 12 paces away. I'm not sure how Tony and Helen feel about having a downstairs bedroom, but I'm about to find out. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it was probably 13 steps to the master bedroom.
Wow, that's a big bed.
It is a big bed. It dominates the room, I would
It
say.
does a little, yes.
How do you feel about having a bedroom on the ground floor?
It's
I
not
don't see
something
a
I've
problem
ever
with
thought
it.
about, really,
Actually.
to be honest.
What difference would it make?
It wouldn't.
Doesn't at all,
Doesn't
does
make
it
any
really?
difference.
No.
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 Easy to get to the kitchen for a cuppa.
Yeah.
No,
And this could also be a great guest room.
Yes, it could, yeah.
Because you've also got a good-sized cloakroom and a really modern, lovely
right.
ensuite with a top-range shower,
Yeah.
the lot, all that sort of
Very
business.
nice.
Again, it's spacious though.
It is. It is. There's a lot of room in it.
Upstairs, in the original part of the house, there are 2 double bedrooms. So if they wanted to use the downstairs bedroom for guests, then there are perfectly good options for themselves and their daughter Amelia. This floor also has a good-sized family bathroom. Back on the ground floor, there's a studio space which could prove useful for Tony to work from home. And outside, the garden is a real beauty, with an expansive lawn and plenty of mature trees and shrubs. But the highlight must be the stream which runs along the end of it. This is a quaint bridge which leads to a footpath, which could take our buyers and their dogs all the way to Lake Windermere. Another great seating area.
It is.
Huge.
That'd be lovely for outside dining with friends.
And how?
Yeah. Beautiful.
So all this comes at a cost. What do you think it's on the market for?
I'd say 585.
Okay, £585,000. Okay.
I would say slightly less. 579.
579. That's very precise. £579,000. You were closer. It's currently on the market for £595,000.
Okay.
Okay, wow.
And that's
Yeah.
because,
It's in Windermere.
and it's a big house with rather
Big
large
plot
plot of land,
land.
with
Yes.
a stream at the bottom of it.
Very close to the lake.
It's, yeah, you can understand why it's the price it is.
Okay. Do you want to go and have another look?
Yes,
Yes,
we'll have a look
please.
around.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be at the front.
Okay.
Okay. So just under their top budget at £595,000, this beautiful property really delivers highly on all their list of demands. It has a fantastic sociable living space, a huge kitchen diner with garden access, a studio which could be used as a study, 3 bedrooms, and a long woodland garden with a stream and access to country walks.
First impressions was it's not something I would normally have looked at. However, once we got inside, it did change my opinion somewhat.
The living space is nice, the lounge is good, the dining room here is a nice space, and it's a nice living space to have.
When I went inside, I was surprised actually. It was a lot bigger than I expected it to be. Kitchen was a fantastic kitchen, but I'm not sure if moving to the country I want to move back into a town.
Hi.
Seen enough?
We
Yes,
have.
thank you.
Don't know about you, but I'm slightly frazzled, so no more houses for today.
Okay.
Both the houses you've seen have been completely different, so take it all in, and we'll start again tomorrow.
Excellent.
Super.
Yes.
Come on, let's get back to base. As dusk falls over Cumbria's stunning lakeland countryside, it marks the end of day one of our property search. Tony and Helen from Manchester fell in love with the Lake District after spending many holidays there, and they're now keen to make it their new home. However, the ideal house needs to be close to good schools for their daughter and have enough land for a new pony. So far they've been taken with the character of one cottage, but it was a bit too remote, and then they were surprised by the amount of space in our second property, although that had too many houses nearby. But coming up, the mystery property looks like a winner right from the off.
Love it. Yeah. Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah. And I get in touch with my inner caveman with the help of a local bushcraft expert. I'm prehistoric man. And so begins the second day in our quest to find Helen and Tony their horse-friendly house here in Cumbria. And yesterday started very well. Then Helen announced that she found the first property to be a little bit too isolated. I thought, we're on to a winner with the second house in Windermere. But it only goes to prove you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. They felt they had a few too many neighbours. Apologies. All is not lost. We still have the mystery house, and I'm determined to show them something with land, although it probably means we have to ride a little bit further than the national park to find it. We've made the journey 4 miles southeast of Kendal to the small village of Old Hutton. It's a beautiful rural location surrounded by farmland and has a stream known as Peasy Beck running through it. Our final offering is set in the hamlet of Escrigg End, a community of 8 houses, including a sheep farm. For the first time in our search, we're outside the national park, and we're in an area that's not so familiar to Tony and Helen. The mystery house dates back around 100 years and was once an old stables before being converted. It comes with an annex at the front of the property, which is set up as a holiday let. This is it, mystery property.
Fabulous.
Wow. All of it?
All of it. Yeah. So first impressions are good?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Love it. Yeah.
It is.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's go in. Well, it looks like we've struck gold with this house, and if they're dazzled by the outside, I've got an idea they'll really take a shine to the interior.
Wow.
That's a kitchen.
A kitchen and a half, I would say.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's stunning. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning.
the shaker style.
It's lovely.
It's
Absolutely.
lovely island. You've also got a little utility room through there.
Utility as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't. Love it. Island. Oh, love it. Absolutely.
It's nice. I love the ceiling as well.
Yeah.
That's the biggest smile I've seen on your face, I think, so
This
far.
is just, I love this.
Big smiles for the kitchen, but I can sense more away when they reach the next stop of our tour. And this is the living room.
Very nice.
Wow.
Getting big living space, isn't it? Wow. Another dining table.
Oh,
Yes, it's a lovely
it's
room
a
as
big
well.
room, isn't it? Our furniture would fit perfectly in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And here you seem to have more modern lines. You don't mind that?
No, not at all. Because I still think it's got that traditional feel about it, with it being like an old farm building, you know.